The Africans role models today need guns, but they need people with vision and the values like the freedom fighters who liberated Zimbabwe, the role models who liberated Zimbabwe, and the reason for African today. In the history of Africa, there are stories that are not meant only to be remembered, but to be run on. The story of the freedom fighters who liberated Zimbabwe is not just a story of war, it is a story of courage, vision, African self-belief. This role model still speaks powerful to African today. Welcome to this channel in Liberated Empire, and click on subscribe, like, share, comment. Zimbabwe was known as Rhodesia and was ruled by colonial power. Black Africans were marginalized, denied their land, educational opportunities, and the right to make decisions for themselves. The country was rich in resources, yet its people lived in poverty, governed by others. When injustice lasts too long, role models are born. The freedom fighters who liberated Zimbabwe were not born into privilege. Some were young, other farmers, others students. What united them was not superior weapons, but a shared vision. They made a firm decision and said, "We will not continue to be slaves in our own country." They had a very little. No sufficient weapons, no constant support. But they possessed love for their country, self-sacrifice, belief that Africa can govern itself. The struggle for liberation was expensive. Many lost their lives, many were left wounded, and the families were destroyed. Yes, many families were destroyed, but the idea did not die. In 1980, Zimbabwe gained independence. This was not just a date in history, but a victory of an African idea. We can govern ourselves, we can be independent. Today, Africa is no longer fighting only wars of bullets. It is fighting other serious battles: loss of vision, fear of independent thinking, waiting for solutions from outside, lack of role models in values and character. Yet, the lessons from Zimbabwe remains relevant. Independence begins in the mind before it reaches the hands. Reason on becoming role models. This is very important. Role models begin with vision. The freedom fighters did not begin with power. They began with a vision. Everyone who wants to be a role model must ask. First ask, what do I want to change? What do I want to change? This is you can ask yourself if you want to become a role model in Africa. No transformation happens without cost. The freedom fighters gave their time, their energy, some gave their lives. A true role model does not focus on immediate personal gain, but on the future. Today, weapons are not what Africa needs most. Africa needs thinkers, leaders with values, young people who believe they can change reality. You don't need to be on a battlefield or in power. You become a role model in your family, at your workplace, through your character, speaking truth, by doing good even when no one applauds. The story of freedom fighters who liberated Zimbabwe reminds us that story. The history is our question. When we forgot and when we forget its reason, we fall into new forms of colonization, those of the minds. Africa needs new role models armed with value, knowledge, and the love for their people. That role models can begin with you. Thank you so much. You can subscribe. Do Africans role models today need guns or do they need people?